Marvel vs. Capcom 2 may seem like an easy game compared to most Capcom fighters in the 90s and early 2000s, but there is still a lot of digging to do. You have to learn wave dashing, blink dashing, fast fly, and refly combos for the flying characters, a handful of complicated infinites, and a lot more I probably missed. But the complexity the game has is mostly nullified with the infamous Juggernaut plus BB Hood team. Okay, so why Juggernaut? Jugs here is a slow and clunky mess that easily gets comboed, but has super armor. His Juggernaut punch assist can cover some wide range, and he has a good super and some good health. But that's about it. The reason why Sentinel is a better character than old Jugs here is because Sentinel's health is higher, he has great mobility thanks to his speed and fly, which combined with blink dashing can be insane, and he doesn't have to get up close to do anything. He also has Hyper Sentinel force loops, which are the easiest part about him if he has meter. You can leave your opponent in a time loop as long as you input quarter circle forward and both punch buttons. And then after the last set of drones hit the opponent, crouch heavy punch and input the super again. He also has an easy meterless 3-hit combo when flying. So why are we using Jugs and not Sentinel? Sentinel requires you to learn some tech, like what the hell is a fast fly? Jugs has one move that makes him a nuclear bomb, the Gyro Attack power-up. By inputting a Dragon Punch motion, which is forward, down, and down forward and both punches, Juggernaut gains a power-up until he uses his next attack. Sounds good, right? Well, that's because it isn't. If you whiff or if your opponent blocks, the power-up goes away and it only adds 3 damage to his light normals, so what's good about it? Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection has a little switch down in EX settings called the Gyro Attack power-up, with the options being remove effects on tag or keep effects on tag. If you switch it to the latter, use the power-up, then switch to one of your teammates, congratulations, you just did the easiest piece of tech this game has, the power-up glitch, which adds the effects of Gyro Attack for almost the rest of the game. This makes Juggernaut Punch a godlike assist, and Juggernaut Head Crush a semi-truck coming at your opponent at 100 miles per hour being driven by someone who owns a BMW. Now since Jugs is hard carried by this glitch, it's best to use him in low-level play. Your friends won't see the glitch coming, but someone who breezes this game is going to know you're doing the power-up and will find a way to prevent you from doing it. And since Head Crush's highest damage I think requires seamless King of Skill levels of mashing, good luck getting its max damage out. The best way to set up the glitch is to have an assist that can keep you in bay, preferably one that can hit from full screen or an anti-air, or you could just use a knockdown. Juggernaut has plenty of them. BB Hood is a glass cannon and one that can work kind of well, especially on this team. She does have a few weaknesses, but all of that can be forgiven with the help of one of her supers. Cruel Hunting. Despite BB Hood being a charge character, Cruel Hunting is inputted with a quarter circle forward motion and both punches. Oh yeah, did I say she was a charge character? Her missiles take charge motions, but her bottle of flammable champagne takes a DP input, which if you can't input DP inputs consistently, you get Surprise and Hop instead, which is a good confirm, but not when you're trying to play Keep Away! Even though Beautiful Memory does more damage, Cruel Hunting has more range and is the only crossover combo she has, which makes it better on teams with Juggernaut. One thing I did find interesting on SuperCombo, aka where I did most of my research because I suck with MVC2, is her Jumping Heavy Kick. Her Jumping Heavy Kick can build meter and it fires a mine, giving her a threatening air game unless she gets hit by any anti-air, especially coming from an assist. She can also link up to 2 Crouching Heavy Kicks, which to be fair, why would you when combos in this game are primarily air-based, and has a Command Crawl which gives her the hurt box of 3 servo bots. She can also use the Command Crawl as a cross-up tool. Now I know what you're digging. What assist do you use if her assist super is the same for all 3? Alpha Assist. Enough said. Remember those missiles I told you about? She has them as her Alpha Assist, and if you're setting up Juggernaut's PU glitch, then this is probably your best option. I'm no MVC2 pro, I'm just gonna say that right now since I don't know if this works all the time or is reliable enough, but you can use this as your method of playing Keep Away of your opponent for setting up the glitch. So from my words, BB Hood is a flawless character, right? Well yes, but actually no. Her Flammable Champagne is a good anti-air, but that's her only anti-air, so she's hella carried by anti-air assists from her own team. Her normals according to SuperCombo are also kinda jank. Standing Heavy Kick is probably the best she has since it can counter most of the pushdown based characters, but there's one problem. All of the top tiers in this game don't even need to get close to do anything. That's the main problem with this team. It's weak to the best Archeer type in the whole game, Zoners. However, there is still one character left. Hey, now hold up a minute. Who the hell even is the character in this segment? The character in this third segment can vary, but in order for this team to live up to its title, they need to have 3 things going for them. A good keep away assist, a good long range super, and easy to maneuver playability. One character that defines all 3 of these is Cable, and he brings a lot to the table. From his godlike Hyper Viper Beam super to his phenomenal beta assist, Cable is one of the best characters in the game, and he's a beginner character too. HVB is also a mashable super, so you can combine it with the likes of Head Crush while BB Hood does her own thing with Cruel Hunting. Oh yeah, and this also one-shots half the entire cast. I'm not even kidding, I forgot to put this in the script. Or if you hate top-tier scrubs, Cable can be swapped out with Cyclops, who isn't as good but can fill in most of the roles Cable has, albeit with a difficult but rewarding infinite. His standing heavy punch is a projectile, and there can be multiple on the screen at a time, so combined with BB Hood's alpha assist, you can stall out your opponent if Jokes is dead, or if the start of the whole game isn't working out for you. Mega Man can serve as another substitute for Cable and Cyclops, having some extra versatility to his toolkit and also having the classic anti-air plus beam cross combo. Beat Plane can also stall out the time, but the best part about him is Hyper Mega Man. Sure, it doesn't deal as much damage as Hyper Viper Beam, but good news, it can still work with Jugs. I forgot to put this in the script, but because Hyper Mega Man is slow, it's gonna be the last super that comes out. Mega Man is also simple for the fact that he can do Magic Series combos in the ground, but sadly he can't during a super jump, so you're gonna have to learn some other air routes in the Tornado Hold, which can OTG. He also has an infinite that's easier than Cyclops, but still kinda lengthy. Keep in mind, Mega Man is just as glassy, if not more glassy than BB Hood. And finally, Blackheart. Blackheart is another top tier of an infinite, but the easiest infinite in the game. All you have to do is repeat the following input: jumping heavy kick, air dash, jumping heavy kick, jump. He also has a decent anti-air assist, but sadly you're gonna have to get up close for max damage, which kinda doesn't make him good as any of the others I listed. Overall, for best anchor on this team, I'd say Cable or Cyclops would hit the bill. Cable's beta assist does hit more of a horizontal range than Cyclops' vertical range, but both can be solid teammates with game-breaking team hyper combo results, especially Cable. One more thing to note is that if you're playing on Justin Wong's ratio format, some people use Sansan because of her staff, but outside of that, she's not going to bring as much range as the characters mentioned, but she is going to have more range than Blackheart, specifically the staff. Do not come into this video thinking that, oh wow, because this team is so easy, it's the best in the game. You could not be any more wrong than you are right now. This team's game plan is very simple, but almost too simple. You have to mostly rely on assists to keep Juggernaut safe for the power-up, but even then, you still gotta worry about raw tagging, which if done wrong can end up horribly for your game plan. You're also using 2 weak characters, one with low speed and sluggish attacks, and one with frail health and the jump answers of Abigail in Street Fighter V. Your anchor, whether it be Cyclops, Cable, or any of the other characters I've listed, needs to have the beta or anti-air assists in order to protect your team from flying fighters like most of the top tiers. Zoning is another nightmare to deal with, especially air zoning. Whether it be Magneto or Storm, you have to watch out for these air projectiles, especially Storm, who can use one of her supers while flying, meaning one whiff can easily be punished and can lead to the biggest regret in this entire game you have. As a side note, as soon as I finished writing this part, I actually ran into Root Dog, who had Magneto, Storm, and Sentinel on his team. Root Dog is the #1 player on Nintendo Switch. And then, after all those characters, you have him! Infinite! Iron Man is this team's worst nightmare. If you have BB Hood out and she gets jumped on, sorry buddy, but if your opponent has perfect rhythm, you're gonna learn what an F in Infinite looks like. Smart Bombs can also be annoying, but your Anchor's assist protects you from all of this, if they're on their invincibilities. These weaknesses might not seem like much, but they're a huge deal given that these are top tier characters that can counter this team. And you have to rely on this hunk of bricks that's as fast as a Regigigas during Soul Start to really get things moving, as well as Meter. So what did we learn from this video? MVC2 is not that hard of a game depending on the character you play. Even the lower tier characters have a chance to shine in this cruel war zone of zoners, and there may be better teams out there, but I find this one to have the least amount of execution that I'd say even a beginner can take the wheel. I don't know about high level play though.